Good afternoon. Welcome to Playing in the Kitchen with V. Today we're going to do one of my favorites, one of my husband's favorites. Actually, I can guarantee it's a favorite for anyone who tries it. It is a pecan cheesecake pie, also known as mystery cheesecake. And pretty much what we're going to do is make a pecan pie and pour cream cheese filling in it, and it's going to be a good mixture of both. So before we get started, I'm just going to run through what you need for this recipe. You're going to need one unbaked pie crust. You're going to need a package of cream cheese softened, which I have laying here. Roughly, it's probably been out on my counter for about 2 hours, and it's a little chilly in my kitchen. You're going to need a quarter cup of sugar, white sugar. You're going to need 4 eggs. You're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You will need a cup of pecans chopped, 1 cup of corn syrup, which I have is light, and a quarter cup of brown sugar, which I've left in my cabinet. Darling, if you don't care, will you grab it for me? With that, I'm going to use my big handy dandy KitchenAid mixer to pretty much whip all this up for you. We're going to throw it in our lovely pie shell and put it in the oven for 425 degrees at 10 minutes. Then we're going to cut that down to 375 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. Again, I use a convection oven, so I'm probably going to go with the 25 minutes first, maybe 20 minutes, because these types of ovens seem to be a little hotter than other ovens. So give me just a moment and we will be right back. Alright, so we are back and I have all my ingredients sitting here on my counter. I have my mixing bowl, and we're going to go ahead and start putting everything in. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in my cream cheese. Did I say how cold it was this morning? I'm not a fan of the cold weather. I'll slide this right in the trash right here. So the next thing we're going to add is 1 egg. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Yes, I'm using imitation. If you have the real stuff, by all means use it. I do have real stuff cooking in the closet. That might be another video to make your own vanilla extract. So we have that. Then I'm going to take this over here to my mixer, and we are going to mix it up together. Just lay that right there. I don't know if you can see this far, but we're just going to mix it up just for a few moments. And if your cream cheese is not warm enough, it will be lumpy. This just means you're going to have to mix it up a little bit more, a little bit longer. And I can tell you ours is still a little bit lumpy. So I'm going to mix it a little bit, push it down on the sides to make sure I get everything out where it's good and mixed, or everything down in the bowl where it's good and mixed good. That's on high speed, if you're wondering. Now, if you don't have a big, nice mixer or even a hand mixer, you can do this by hand, but it's going to be a little bit more work. It's going to take you a little bit longer. We'll mix it just a few more seconds. Let me just look at this recipe just for a moment. Then we're just going to actually smooth it into the pie shell. Darling, if you would be so nice, can you grab me my pecans? Because I left them in the cabinet too. And typically this is how I do it when I'm just throwing together recipes in my kitchen without videoing. I'm always forgetting something and have to get in the cabinet just like I'm sure everybody else does. I'm just going to set that right there to the side. Now, like I said, this is going to be a little, well, it's not a little, and it's pretty lumpy. But when the heat hits it, it will mix it up and smooth it out. As you can see, it's pretty lumpy because it's still chilly. For the coldness in my kitchen, I would probably have had to set this out about 4 hours ago, maybe. But another trick that you can also do that I did not do is that you can actually put your package of cream cheese in some warm water. As long as you ain't broke the seal on it, it will actually be fine and no water will actually get into the package. So, that's what I should have done today, but I didn't. So, we're going to go ahead and scoop this out. And today, if you ain't figured it out, I've got my lovely husband helping me. Because this is actually a recipe that he makes. And I usually just let him have at it, and he does it. But today I'm making it. And he's behind the camera. So anyway, if you love pecans and you love cream cheese, and I love both, this is going to be a delicious recipe. So you're just going to smooth it out in your pie crust. Our recipe does not call to pre-bake our pie crust, but you probably can par bake it just a little bit in the oven. So actually, I went ahead and added the 1/4 cup of sugar that we forgot to put in. So we're back to mixing to make sure we get our sugar mixed in well. Otherwise, our pie will be a little tart. Just going to do that for a few minutes. Again, push everything down the side. Just a few more seconds. Alright, now I'm going to take the mixture and put it in my pie shell. Just a second. Shoot, it's smelling good actually. I will have to get me a bite of this before we go and do karaoke this evening. Be my pre-supper dish. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright, so now in this section I'm going to take 3 eggs. I wish it was so I could do it one-handed. I can, but it gets messy. Okay, and corn syrup, which my corn syrup I'm pretty sure was, I know it's a full cup. So we're going to take corn syrup. This reminds me of making marshmallows. Should have took the lid off. So I'm going to do that right now because this is pretty rough to get out. Alright, let me see something here. I think we're not going to
You are not.
Enough. Looks like we got about a half a cup right there. That's okay. I usually keep quite a bit of corn syrup. Because I like making pies and, did I say marshmallows? Which is my favorite. That would be something for us to make, because those are, if you really like marshmallows, let me tell you, you'll like a homemade marshmallow, because they are so much more delicious, if that can even be possible. Okay, we got that. That into our bowl. Now, if you notice, I did not reach for a clean bowl. And the reason being is because this is all going to go into the same pie. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So I just feel like there is no need in doing all of that. So we're going to take the 3 eggs, the corn syrup, and the brown sugar, and we're going to mix it together. And then I will pour this over pecans that I put into on top of the cream cheese in the pie shell. Right? We're going to let that mix for a few minutes. And we are going to measure out, actually, I am going to take a little air out of this bag because I need to chop them, but I'm not going to chop them. I'm actually going to smash. Whoops. I believe I watched Rachel Ray do this before. She was probably a little more glamorous at it. And we're just mixing. No worries.
Sorry, out the big ones are good too.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get enough pecans anyway. And so I'm going to pour them in there. Just like that. And just take your spoon and spread them out a little bit, or your clean fingers, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. Again, our oven is 425. It's ready to go. And our mixture mixture is ready also. Set that just like that. Now, I'm hoping this all fits because you know the last time I made this pie, I ended up with a lot of extra. All right. Just going to pour that set up to the side. Now the other thing that I'm going to do in case this spills over, and this is just something I've learned over the years in baking, I'm actually going to set this pie inside of another pan, an actual bread pan, just to make sure that it doesn't boil over, spill over, and get all over my stove and my oven on the inside. That's my big labradoodle you hear. He's wanting to come in. He's got a nose. He knows when it's Mama's cooking pretty much. All right, we're going to open up the oven and slide this pie in. Again, we're going to bake it for 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set this timer. And then when we get to 10 minutes, we're actually going to turn this down to 375, and then we're going to bake it for approximately 25 to 30 minutes. Like I said earlier, I'm going to go for the actual 25 minutes. So we will be back in just a minute. My little Ollie's trying to find something to get into. And we'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back to Playing in the Kitchen with V. And our timers just went off. So I'm actually going to take down the degrees to 375. I'm actually going to open my oven just a little bit to let out a little bit of the heat. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 25 minutes. And while the oven, some of the heat is escaping, I just want to say that if you've enjoyed this recipe, this video, give us a like and subscribe. My next video will probably consist of going over making your own laundry detergent, because I just seen yesterday that prices on Procter & Gamble products are going to go up 8%. And if you're like me, I do laundry just about every day. And I'm always looking for something that's affordable, that gives me good cleaning on my clothes without actually tearing them up. Because a lot of people don't realize this also. A lot of your cheap laundry detergents will actually kind of cut the threads and wear out your clothes pretty fast. Alright, so that should be pretty sufficient. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to have to reset this timer because I didn't start it. So anyway, 25 minutes, we're going to go ahead and let this bake. Then 25 minutes at 375. Actually, since I have a convection oven, I'm baking mine on top. As you can see, it doesn't matter if you put it on the bottom. In this oven, it's really all going to be the same. If you have a oven that has the burners in the bottom, I would probably put it in the middle, on the middle rack. But anyway, 25 minutes, we're going to come back. We're going to go look at this pie, and unfortunately, it's going to be too hot for us to really cut into. You'll actually let it cool off and then put it in your refrigerator for an hour or so to chill, and then it will be ready for serving. But we will be back in just another moment for our final results. See you soon. So welcome back to Playing in the Kitchen with V. And we are, actually, our timer just went off and our pie should be ready. Please make sure you put on oven mitts. Oh my goodness, this looks delicious.
You got something to set it on over here?
I do. Well, I can put it on my little antique cast iron owl. It looks pretty rough. It's way older than I am. Let's just put it that way, okay?
Sure it is.
It is, I promise. So look how delicious that pie is. Now, as this baby cools, let me turn off this timer and the oven. So as this baby cools, it is going to settle down some. It will probably get a little even with your pie crust as far as sinking down into the pie. And I just cannot tell you how delicious this pie is. Let me tell you, I'm a big cheesecake person. I love a big 10-inch New York cheesecake, authentic cheesecake. But it will take me most of the day to make, and we may try that at some point. Like I said, I love to bake. I love to cook. I love to make a lot of different things because I am a do-it-yourself kind of girl. But anyway, this recipe will also be down in the description. And I will tell you, I have made this pie in the past. I believe, Pillsbury was one of them. It did not work out for me. There was way more filling. And that recipe is actually missing a few things that will help you make sure your filling is correct, where you ain't got, like, one filling was enough to make 2 pies because the measurements were not correct. So anyway, description will have the recipe. Also, I want to mention, since one of my videos were flagged for, what did it say?
I don't remember. It was
anyway, I believe
like
it was the heart t-shirt.
Yeah.
My point is, if I buy the heart t-shirt, then I have paid to be able to wear that t-shirt. So just like this is a Johnny Cash and a Hank t-shirt. Actually, my friend bought this for me. But anyway, so I will also almost always have a shirt relating to music on because I am a musician. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. Hopefully you will make this pie and tell me how delicious it is. Because I will promise you, once you make it, you'll be making it a lot because it is very tasty. Again, thank you for stopping by with Playing in the Kitchen with V. And give us a like and a subscribe if you've enjoyed our recipe. And if you've made it, let me know how it worked out for you down in the comments. Thank you so very much, and thank you. See you guys next time.